And that's where I got for the first time. Oh, hi there. I got a degree where I learned how to make videos and figured I might as well put it to good use. My name is Adam Traybold, and I'm a photographer, drummer, and instructor. And I decided that it would be good for me to start a YouTube channel. I've gotten bored recently, and I figured making videos might be something good for me to do. I want to use this channel to explore film photography, digital photography, alternate processes, and maybe do some film reviews, camera reviews, and some vloggy type stuff. In this first video, you're going to come with me as I explain my film and camera choices for a recent photo shoot that I did. Our subject today is the band Everything Yes. Their drummer and leader, Zack Graybeal, better known as Zack Grooves on YouTube, is a drummer, clinician, and instructor that seemingly blew up overnight. He is synonymous with tight chops, stank face, and several running gags he adds in his videos.
Yeah! Yeah!
He has collaborated on videos with Drumeo, Cymbals, and the Memphis Drum Shop. But enough about this dollar store Hodge twin. What is Everything Yes? Everything Yes is a jazz fusion group that debuted live at the Memphis Drum Shop's sound stage in May of 2023, with the band consisting of the following members: Sean Reeser on tenor sax, Zach's younger brother Nathan on alto sax, Jacob Dupra on keys, Cole Sipp on bass guitar, and Zach naturally on drums. At the time of this recording, the band just finished their Debut U.S. tour. The gig I went to was in Nashville. It was about 4.5 hours away from where I live right now. So before we get to the finished product, I'm going to let my past self explain my camera and film choices. Is that it? Okay, I think that's good. Transition here. I didn't really set up a snap thing. That would have been really cool. Oh, what's the next best thing? Oh, I know. Waves, sparkles, and fade to black. Yeah. As a photographer, I admit I do have a bit of a camera problem. And by that I mean I've collected a vast amount of cameras over the last 3-4 years or so. Now, while I am tempted to go with one of my more vintage models for hits and shiggles, I believe sticking to the relative present as far as cameras in my collection may be the safest option. While that does leave me a lot of options to choose from, I don't think I could ask for a better camera for this particular job than this one, the Pentax ME Super. This compact Japanese camera was made back in 1979 and has all the features that I think someone in my particular situation would love to have as far as action on the camera. You have a visible shot counter up at the top right, smooth focus and aperture action, and most importantly, an automatic light meter. That function alone helps this camera stand out. I'm going to be flying from the seat of my pants, quite literally, shooting in a low light environment with only stage lights, no backlighting, at least from the audience going towards the stage. So something that will be able to take some of that guesswork out in figuring out the correct combination of aperture and shutter speed is going to help me in the long run. So I think this is the camera that we're going to go with for this particular venture. Now, what film shall we put in this camera? So the film I've decided to use today is this Ilford Delta 3200 ISO film. Now, while I do use other film, such as Kent Mirror, infrared film, Kodak color film, etc., etc., I think the 3200 ISO is going to be fitting for today. What we're shooting in, like I previously mentioned, is a low light environment. What that means is that I'm gonna need something with a high enough of a sensitivity in order to capture any sort of image on the film. 3200 ISO does the job well. To make a long story short, the silver halide crystals inside the film are bigger, or in bigger groupings of each other. And what this does is that it causes the film to be more light sensitive. Kentmere 100, for example, has smaller halide crystals. This causes not only the light sensitivity to be greatly reduced, but it also causes, conversely, the final images to be of finer quality, finer detail. Because of the bigger crystals in 3200 ISO, we'll see a texture on the finished product that I'm not editing in post. This is called grain. If you've seen any sort of footage shot at night, like on old digital cameras, and it's almost fuzzy, but things are trying to be in focus, that's what grain is. So now we got our camera, we have our film choice, let's get on the road.
How you doing tonight?
I certainly did have an amazing time at the concert. It was very loud, very funky, absolutely blew my mind as to what a small group like this can do in real time. Negatives came back surprisingly very well, considering the low light environment that I was having to shoot in. Because of the high ISO film that I used, the photos came out very grainy, though that was the intended goal. Some of my favorite shots are of Zack, admittedly. I was able to get a lot of good motion shots of his arms going up and down as he was hitting his drums. The ever-changing light on stage made it so where I never really knew where the light source was going to be at whenever I clicked the shutter. There are some shots where Zack is in full frontal light and you can see the majority of his body and the kit. Some of the shots, the light is strictly outlining the hardware of his kit, his cymbals, his arms, giving a very pictorialistic approach. The rest of the band is captured very well. I got some good shots of Nathan and Sean together, both playing their saxophones, with Cole in the background on bass. As it turns out, Everything Yes has a new keyboard player, Reginald McNeil, good friend of Zack and the rest of the group. He was killer on keys, and I got a lot of good shots. While he was hidden by his keyboards, his facial expressions do him justice as to how into the music he was. I also got some digital shots, primarily in color. Now, I prefer film to have grain rather than digital photography, just being a personal preference of mine. But I am happy that I did get some color images out of this photo shoot, simply because while black and white does give a certain vibe, which I personally prefer, color gives us that extra dimension of expression in photography. And I wanted to make sure that I had an equal balance of black and white and color photos from the shoot. And there you have it, the first video on this channel. I want to say thank you to Zack and the rest of the Everything Yes band. Thank you so much. It was very nice to get back out into the field and to do some shooting. Could not have had a better time. And as to you watching this video, thank you so much for clicking on it and giving it a look-see. I'm not going to put myself to any sort of schedule yet. I'm not sure of the frequency of these videos yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't really have a good outro yet, so I will just leave you with a thank you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, I guess. That's the YouTuber-y thing to do, I suppose. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.